Hi. Hello. I'm a better writer than I am a speaker, so I hope you don't mind if I'm mostly reading. When I first came to Mid-America Rehab, which was in March of this year, I felt truly disabled. My spinal cord injury was caused by cancer, and I had just gotten through 5 weeks of radiation treatments that left me feeling just drained and sore and like I couldn't do much of anything for myself at that time. It took 3 strong, determined people to help me transfer from my wheelchair to the bed and back again. And I had a Foley catheter because I couldn't handle making that transfer more than a couple times a day. And thanks to some kind of a glitch in my nervous system that gave me a tendency to pass out while I'm doing my bowel business, I had to do that in bed too. And it had been 3 months since I'd last been able to stand up without help, since I had last started over on my therapy journey. I had to start over because I had done all the rehab before. I had 6 weeks of inpatient rehab at another hospital and had 3 surgeries by the time I came to Mid-America. But each time I had gone through the rehab and got back to walking with a walker, and the cancer would push on my spinal cord and I would have to start over. But I found that when things can't get much lower, all you can really do is look up and start to pull. And you keep on pulling until you pull yourself out of the hole. I had 3 children at home who had spent the previous 5 months wondering if their mommy would ever get out of the hospital and come back home, and I sure couldn't let them down. I couldn't stand the idea of going home helpless either, so I had to work hard. And Mid-America, fortunately, is a place where a person who is willing to work hard will do great things. The rehab professionals here will guide your efforts to the greatest possible return, motivate you when you feel defeated, cheer for you when you accomplish a goal that you set, but then ask you, what next? There were days when the after effects of radiation made me too sick to get out of bed, or I had too much pain in my back, or from the repetitive bladder infections I always had from that catheter. But that didn't mean that I didn't have therapy that day. My therapist, always patient, would come to my room and help me work out in my bed, always expecting my maximum effort while taking into consideration the pain and other side effects that I was handling. In just a few short weeks, I was ready to discharge home and continue my therapy work as an outpatient finally. My sliding transfers between the bed and the wheelchair had been reduced from 3 people to 1 supervisor who just kind of watched me do it. And I was practicing standing with an assistive device. Maybe it was the joy of finally being reunited with my family, or maybe soaking up all the extra hugs and kisses from the kids, but I felt like I had new strength when I got home. All I know is that after I began coming to Mid-America's outpatient program is when my progress really exploded. Within a month of going home, I got off the Foley catheter and began having successful and conscious bowel, bladder, and bowel movements on a bedside commode. If you've ever experienced disability of that kind, then you know what it does to you psychologically and how liberating and normalizing it can be to finally go to the bathroom on a toilet again. Soon I was standing in the parallel bars instead of using a machine. My knees would sometimes lock or buckle at inappropriate times, but the muscles in my legs were getting stronger every day. The therapist would help to keep my legs and knees from buckling so I could stand for more and more seconds at a time, and then practice marching in place. And then finally, I took my first few steps in the parallel bars in late April. I've come a long way since then, first walking with a walker, and now with 2 4-foot canes to help me balance. It's kind of like skiing. I can walk up to 100 feet without resting, and I don't see the clock, but I think this is officially the longest time I've been standing up here. Let's pretend the podium isn't helping very much. There will always be challenges and setbacks on your journey to become your new best. I was in a car accident in May, for example. That could have been the final straw for me if I or my therapist had been willing to allow it to break me. But none of us would put up with that. Not my family, not my therapist, and certainly not me. I'd love to tell you that I beat cancer and am tumor-free today, but I can't. The cancer is still there, lurking around my spinal cord and threatening to undo my progress at any time. But if it does, I'll rise again, I can promise you that. The key is to always, always set your sights once again on your goals, and set new goals whenever you reach them. Never settle for anything less than everything you have. If you are willing to scrape and pull and drag yourself upward with every ounce of strength you have, Rehab Professionals will show you how. And together you will discover just how capable the disabled can be.